Good evening. Welcome to the Happy Hustle Show. It is Monday, the 29th of November, aka Cyber Monday. How is your Cyber Monday going? Be very aware that this is a day when people have their wallets and their purses wide open. People are looking for bargains online. They're going to be shopping online. If there's anything that you can offer in any sort of an offer, be that, so it doesn't have to be a discount, although that's the kind of standard. Hi, Joe. I'm going to talk about you in a minute. It doesn't have to be a huge discount, but it could be just like you could be 3 for the price of 2, or it could be buy something and get one other thing, like one little gift free with it, or get, I don't know, gift wrap or a coupon for spending in the future, anything, just anything that lets people who might have been thinking about buying from you before, anything that pushes them over the edge, because today is the day that they will be buying stuff. Now, whoever has said hi to me, not Cassie. So Cassie, I see you, and I see lovely Joe. I see Miriam. So whoever said hi first, if you could click, unless it's D, who I know doesn't go on with StreamYard, if you could click on the StreamYard link just so I could see your name, that would be amazing, just so I'm not rude. So tonight I want to talk about bad reviews inspired by your post, Joe, and I'm cross for you. I am cross for you because when people leave, so Joe has had a bad review on Etsy today, which if it hasn't happened to you already, it will happen to you. If you sell on Etsy, at some point it will happen to you. And there's a couple of reasons why people can leave reviews. The first thing to say is try not to take it personally, but I know that's hard. Like you were all here a few months ago when I got a bad review, when I opened a brand new shop and I got a bad review. And it's really hard not to be upset about it and be like, especially when you kind of go, oh, what did I do? Like, what would have made that person, like, what could I have done to fix it? Because we're all kind and we're all creative. And if someone says, I don't like that thing that you created, like, that's fine. And people will say that to me, not regularly, but it's been almost 10 years now. So there's been enough time where people have said, oh, I think that the catch on that particular necklace, there's no way that that's going to hold those. So I want a refund immediately. And when people contact me in that way, the first thing you do is you go, who do you think you are, in your head? But actually, the very, very best way to deal with it is to just say, oh, of course, I'll send it back and I will refund you immediately. I'm so sorry to have disappointed you. Just use their words, whatever. And you think, yeah, I've been selling these for 10 years. I don't think they've ever fallen off, but whatever. But it's really easy to say. It's really easy to say, and it's difficult in the moment because of what our side hustles are, and because it's our gift, and because we're like putting ourselves out there and we're being vulnerable, when the majority of people are choosing not to do that. They're choosing to stay safe. Like, you'll never get a bad review if you never bother setting up your side hustle in the first place. But that's not the way to live your life, is it? That's not the way to live your life. So, just generally, I was thinking I was going to reply to your post. Hi, Sheila. I was going to reply to your post, Joe, and I thought I'll just talk about it because, maybe it'll be helpful. I think the first thing to do is just kind of breathe, because it is that, like, I know that sinking feeling, and I don't think you'll ever get away from that. And you don't want to, because then it would mean that you didn't care. Like, so if somebody gives you a bad review, you immediately want to go, okay. And remember that, like, my favorite quote, which is, be kind because everybody's fighting a battle you know nothing about. And that should equally apply towards you, but not everybody lives their life that way. But I think it's a great way to live your life, because what makes somebody go and leave a bad review, purposefully leave a bad review? I'll come back to why I'm saying purposefully in a minute, but what makes somebody do that? Well, it's kind of mean, isn't it? Like, if somebody gets something and they're not delighted with it, like it's perfectly fine, as exactly as you said in your post, Joe, to contact the creator and say, do you know, I thought that this was maybe I misread it, or like I thought it was something different, which gives you the opportunity to go, oh right, gosh, well just pop it back to me and I'll refund you. That's absolutely no problem. And then maybe I'll go and, because that happened to me. What was it? Something came up a couple of times with my jewelry. What was it? It was years ago. I can't remember now, but I thought I'd described it well. But when a couple of people made the same mistake, even though I was reading the listing and I could see where I'd written the thing, I think it was about the personalization and the number of letters you could have for it. And I thought I'd been really clear, but people were like, well, I didn't see that. And you think, well, okay, you've scanned it. Like, realistically, we could get into tit for tat here, but if it happens more, for me, when it happened a couple of times, I thought, right, I'll just need to do what I can to make it even more prominent and just understand that people scan things. But if somebody purposefully doesn't get in contact and just leaves a bad review, it just says everything about them and nothing about you, in my opinion. If I went to buy something and I look at the reviews, to be honest, it makes the reviews a little bit more real if they're not all 5-star. Because then if people don't understand Etsy, for example, if we're talking about an Etsy review, if it's on your own website, you've got a bit more control because you don't have to publish bad reviews on your own website. So yeah. But on Etsy or Amazon or one of the kind of third-party selling platforms, yeah, they don't tend to remove them unless, so there's a couple of reasons that they'll remove them. Certainly in the Amazon rules, they remove it if it's to do with the delivery. So if someone gives you 1 star because it didn't turn up on time, you can contact them about that and they'll remove it because it's really clear that it's not about you. They'll remove it on Amazon if you if they mention like another brand name in the, so say they were to say, I bought this for my Pandora bracelet and it doesn't fit on it, that's a disgrace. Amazon will remove, I think they certainly used to, if they mention like other brands. They'll also remove it if it's sweary or if it's like something that's just like an attack on your character. If it's something that's just inappropriate, they'll remove that. But if someone just says they don't like it or leaves a review and doesn't leave any words, they don't tend to remove those. And I guess the reason that they don't as a business is that it would make it, if it was really easy to get a review removed, people that aren't like us, so there's nobody in the Happy Side Hustle community that's trying to trick people or whatever, but there are people out there selling Amazon, for example, who are probably not selling genuine goods, so they're selling something that isn't, I don't know, that's supposed to be a brand and isn't a brand. If it was easy for them to get negative reviews removed, then it would kind of question the integrity of Amazon. So I'm not saying that, of course, that isn't the case for you, Joe, but I'm just saying generally that's why, no matter, unless it's something really specific, that's why they don't tend to remove reviews. What you can do, so with that particular situation where you get a 1-star review and there's no comment, the first thing to do is exactly what you've done, which is to reach out to the customer and say, God, I was so gutted to see that you've left a 1-star review. I just wondered if you could give me some feedback, like what can I do to make sure that it's like it could be improved or whatever. What sometimes can happen is that people will think that they've clicked 5 stars. So that you see this all the time, and you probably had this if you've got a toddler or whatever. Like sometimes I'll be talking and people will click like angry faces, and I'm thinking, what am I saying that's making people angry? And then someone will comment and go, sorry, my toddler had my phone. Or, sometimes I'll click something and my internet will be slow and I'll kind of click away from it before, so it may not have gone through the way I intended. So sometimes someone's left you a 1-star review by mistake. Like sometimes it's by mistake. Let me see. My response to her was, I'm sorry you're disappointed with your order. I would have appreciated you contact me before leaving feedback, so I'd be more than happy to have worked with you so that you're happy with your purchase. Yeah, but I think you can still, So I guess it depends what she comes back with, Jo, but you can still say, it's the fact she's gone to the trouble of messaging me. It's the fact that she has gone to the trouble of messaging me directly to say, so she messaged you. So hold on. So she's left the 1-star review and she messaged you to say she was so disappointed. Is that right? Let me know if that's right. Because you can still have the conversation with the customer and say, what can I do to make this up to you? Like I want, it's so important for me for all my customers to be happy. What can I do to resolve this? Like, let me know. Sometimes they might say something like that's completely reasonable. She did. So she just said she's so disappointed, but with no explanation. Okay. Well, again, Jo, I would go back. I'm sure you have, but I would theoretically, I would go back to her and say, oh, I feel absolutely rotten that you're disappointed. I am so sorry. Like, let me know what was it specifically so I can learn from it and let me know how I can make this up to you. And you just be really lovely and kind. And if she doesn't reply to you, then it just needs to be kind of, just chalked up as, well, I assume it's a she. Yeah, no, you said it's a she. It just needs to be chalked up into, then she's probably having a very bad day. Hi, Karen. But if she comes back to you and says, well, actually, as your guest, well, I don't know, like, I guess this is just you kind of, trying to think what it might be. But say she comes back to you and says, I thought this was going to be, the size of the moon, and yeah, oh, absolutely. And it's smaller than I expected or whatever. Then you say, oh my goodness, okay. Yeah, I do have them in different sizes. Actually, I've got a larger one. If you would like me to kind of send you the larger one, the difference in price would be this. I'd be more than happy to kind of cover the postage and send it off to you if you want to pay the difference in price. Something like that. So it's about, sometimes you just want to say, well, you have to send it back to me at your own cost and whatever. And I don't think anyone in here would do this. I know you wouldn't do it, Jo, but I do see it in some of the craft communities where people get into these battles with customers. It's never going to work out well. It's never going to work out well. So I just always say, oh my goodness, I feel absolutely terrible that you're disappointed, because I want them to realize they've made me feel absolutely terrible. I think sometimes, especially if people are new to Etsy, they don't realize that it's a person at the other end. It's much worse with Amazon, I've got to tell you, because people just think of Amazon as this big thing. So people will order things from Amazon and then just send, like, they'll order 5 things and just send 4 of them back and just say, and then with Amazon, you have to say it was defective or it was misleading or whatever to get your postage covered. Otherwise, if you just say you've changed your mind, then you have to pay your own postage. So people just choose a reason with Amazon. Happens all the time. But I think it's because when people buy from Amazon, they don't realize that it's me with my one pair of hands making it, sending it off for Amazon to store in their warehouses for it to be sent out as a piece of something that my heart's in that I've made. I don't think they realize that at all. I think they just see Amazon as one big giant, and who cares if Jeff Bezos loses a bit of money? Like, I think that's how they I think that's possibly the approach that they're taking, and it might be similar with some people not really understanding what Etsy is, and just kind of assuming that it's not. That there's nobody that's hurt at the other end. I always make a point of saying, oh, I am absolutely gutted that you feel like that, because I want people to realize, and I'm not saying it to make them feel guilty, but I want them to realize that, like, I'm a person and I've made this and you're saying it's not good enough, and I'll let me resolve it for you. I want to make sure that I resolve it for you. If people still don't respond positively to that, then yeah, they're not our ideal customer, definitely. Think of it a different way. She may be disappointed, but not so much as she asked for her money back. That seems odd. Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah, you just think, as if you ordered something and it wasn't what you expected, probably because you hadn't read the thing. I know what, to be fair, I'm bad at that. Like, for, if I'm doing my shopping from Morrison's or whatever, I'll go, oh, I'll get a 500-gram bag of pasta because I think that's the one we normally get, and it comes and it's either too big or too small. Or I find it difficult to visualize what a size of things looks like. So I sort of get it that people might not be able to visualize. So it might come and they might go, oh, that's not exactly what I thought. But is it this size, Joe? Is it like that one? Look, because who would not love that? Is it like that? Because that's far part of my Christmas display, even though we're a year on. Who knew, by the way, who knew a year on we'd still be talking about COVID? It still fits perfectly. And look, I'm covered in Joe stuff. My house is covered in Joe stuff. Same size, yeah. But I mean, that's the size. So maybe there's, I don't know, Joe, if you have this in your photos, but maybe there's something about just photographing it in context with something else. So some people do it with a ruler, but you could do it beside, I don't know, something else that's got a clear size, so dependent, like a vase, or I don't know, you're really good at photography, so I don't want to tell you what to do here, but if you had something that's quite clearly normally a specific size, you could photograph it like with that in the background, just so people could see it for context. Maybe, I don't know. You think it was a gift? So why would she be ridiculously disappointed if it went out as a gift? I thought I had it next to a candle and a plant. Oh, well, you have done it then, Joe. Well, then I would say there's not really much else you can do about that. You've got the dimensions and you've got a context photo. So yeah. Some people just like, yeah. I mean, I think it's this time of year as well. People start to get a bit frazzled. Like I got a parcel delivered by Amazon last week, and Amazon, I've never had this before, but they had a one-time code that I had to give the delivery driver for him to give it to me. And it wasn't even that. It was the parcel, the item was about, I think it was £125. But I've ordered like way more than that from Amazon before, and I've never had this. Anyway, the guy comes to the door. He says, I need the code. I'm not in. My husband phones me and he goes, I need a code. I'm like, I haven't got a code. What do you mean a code? So I look through all my emails, can't find a code. Look on my Amazon account, no code. The guy's like, well, I can't give it to you. You have to take it away again. I'm like, well, I don't know what you want me to do. He goes away. 5 minutes later, Amazon emailed me through a code to go, when the guy comes to the door, here's the code to give him. I'm like, oh, great. So that's after he's been. Anyway, he comes back later. I'm like, I've got the code. He puts the code in and he hands me the parcel. And as he's handing me the parcel, he went, oh, there's another address on the other side of this, which was a completely different person. And he went, I don't know if this is yours or not. I'm like, well, I don't know. I've got the code and it works. Anyway, I took it. And because I've been really busy, I put it with all my other boxes from Amazon upstairs because I thought I need to open those and start wrapping things and really get my head around what I've bought. And about 2 days later, he comes back and he goes, you know that box that I gave you a couple of days ago, have you still got it? He said, was that your stuff? And I went, I don't know, I never opened it. And he went, go and get it for me. And I went upstairs and opened it, and it was like a box of vitamin pills or something. So he gave me the wrong thing. Anyway, so then there was this whole, we had to cancel the order. And anyway, there's this whole hassle. But I think the point I'm trying to make is that at this time of year, even I'm not really sure what I've ordered. So it might have been a genuine mistake. She might have been just like Russian. But you've got to know Amazon boxes too. My husband's like, you have to open the rest of those now because we're not going to find out on Christmas Eve that all the wrong stuff is here. I'm like, I haven't got time. Anyway, back to what to do if you get a bad review. So breathe. Message the customer exactly what you've done, Joe. So the next thing is, if I would give her, exactly as you said, I would give her a couple of days to come back to you. If she doesn't come back to you, then I would reply publicly. So I would reply, and I think in your post within the Hive, Gillian's put a really great suggested response, but it's definitely exactly as you said, killing them with kindness. But your reply is not really to the person that's left the review. Your reply is to show everybody else that's reading through your reviews that you take your reviews seriously and you try to help. So it's something that, you should probably say, oh, I'm so gutted that, you felt that this was only a 1-star product. When I reached out to you to find out how I could resolve it, I didn't hear back from you in the end. So, please feel free to get in touch at any point in the future and I'll try and resolve it for you. Something like that. So that other people read it and they go, Joe cares, or whoever gets the bad review cares. So your public reply, and you can only publicly reply on Etsy to anything that's 3-star or below. So you can't reply to 4 or 5-star. So sometimes people get a 4-star review and they get quite annoyed about that, because if you're going for Etsy star seller, you have to have 5-star reviews pretty much across the board. So a 4-star review can just sort of knock you off your Etsy seller status. And sometimes, again, I've had people kind of saying, can I contact this customer and say to them, could you up this to a 5-star? You cannot do that. Like, you can't do that. People are just, and there's some people that just never give top marks to anything. They just, like, that's just how they are. Reply publicly. And then the last one is, like, get more reviews. So the lower percentage of low reviews, the better. So overall, when people kind of scroll down, if there's 1-star but there's 7 5-star reviews, then people go, yeah, whatever. So there's a couple of ways that you can get reviews. You can, if you have a Facebook group or on your Facebook page or on Instagram, you can say, I'm absolutely devastated. I got this 1-star review. If anyone has bought from me and hasn't left a review, I would be so grateful if you could go on and leave a review for me now, so this doesn't impact my kind of selling status at Etsy. And then, the other thing that you can do is you can just really, really be massively visible and see how many extra things you can sell in the next week. So use it as a motivation to go, if I was going to post once a day, I'm going to post 10 times a day, and I'm going to sell as many things as I possibly can. A thing that I have done before, you've probably seen me do this actually, Joe, is I've done a sale on that item specifically, and then I've promoted it all over the internet. So I've said, this item that normally costs this, I'm going to offer it for, I don't know what would be reasonable for you, but say you go like 50% off. I don't know if you've built enough profit to do that, but if you go, I'm going to offer this 50% off for the next 10 people that buy it, and give me a review. You can't ask for a good review, but you can ask for a review, and give me a review, because I'd really appreciate your support. And people will tend to rally around you to do that as well, because people get quite annoyed at other people, especially within the Happy Side Hustle community, because they really get it. Like, they really get, as business owners, how upsetting it is if someone just leaves you a 1-star review and doesn't allow you the opportunity to fix it. And like, it's perfectly fine for someone not to be delighted with something, but it's just more about, like, they haven't approached it the way we would approach it, have they? But ultimately, Joe, so I've written all the things down I would do, and at the bottom I've put a rude word, because I'm not going to say it out loud, but really, if I look through lots of reviews and they're all positive, and one person just gives a 1-star review with no comment, I just think, fill in a rude word here. I just go, that person's and it would not stop me. In fact, it would probably motivate me more to buy from you, because I would think, oh, she's had to deal with that. Egypt. So my go-to place today was straight to the hive. Yeah. Yes, Joe. Yes. And that, Joe, you couldn't have teed that up better. That brings me on really nicely to the fact that the hive is open. So for anyone watching this that is not in the hive, and I know loads of you that are commenting are already in the hive, but for anyone that's not, or anybody that's watching this on replay, the hive is open. It is not open all the time. It is open right now. I was going to close it at midnight. I'll probably keep it open for another couple of days. Excuse me. Just because I've got so much on in my day job, I can't actually be doing with the admin of closing it all off. So the hive is the Happy Side Hustle membership site. It costs £27 per month, or £270 for a year. So you get 2 months free. And it is where you can go if you get a bad review, exactly as Joe said, because it is an amazing, incredible group of supportive women who boost your mental health, as lovely Nikki said earlier. It is a portal for all the training and resources that you need to create side hustle success. but it is more than that. It's a community. We've got book club. We celebrate each other. We've got monthly awards. And for those of you in the Hive, I'm just about to jump over into the Hive and announce our Legacy Bee right after this. So come over and join me. Yeah, it's just so much more than just a training portal. It's a real community. It's got a really amazing feel about it. And if you join, there's no tie-in, so you can pay £27 and try it for a month. And if it's not for you, you can leave. No one ever does. Not no one ever leaves, but I don't think anyone's ever joined it for a month and then left again. But you could do that technically. Over the next month, if you were to join, we have a couple of things coming up. We're going to be dealing with Reels. How are you with Reels in your business? Do you know what to do with them? Do you know how to create them? Do you know how to use them to market your business? We've got a masterclass on Reels on Wednesday. We're going to look at some mindset stuff on Wednesday night. What I planned to do last night. What is it I'm going to do? Oh, we're going to talk about using your intuition in your side hustle and how to really tap into making the right decisions, not just within your head, but also within your heart, I would say. We've got our Happy Hustle Hive Christmas party next Thursday, not this Thursday, next Thursday, that you would join if you're a member of the Happy Hustle Hive or social events. We've got our book club currently that we are reading, which is a book called Sabotage. And on the 30th of December, we have got a plan along with me. So I am going to be planning my 2022. I'm going to be redoing my vision board. I am going to be working out my exact plan for the year, right down to what I'm going to do every single day to get the side hustle success that I am planning for next year. You can plan along with me if you join the Hive. That's on the 30th of December. And then in January, we're going into, so January is going to be our planning month. February, we're going into a different topic, March, a different topic, April, a different topic. And all we're doing each month is we're looking at one thing that's going to move your side hustle forward, and we all work on it together. It is a truly, truly magical place. You can message me if you've got any questions about joining the Hive, but if you just want to go for it, and I promise you every single one, yes, Tasha, I'm so happy as well. Every single one of these people that's commenting here, if you look down, so if you're watching this in replay, everyone that has clicked the StreamYard link, so there might be the odd one that's not, is already in the Hive. It's that good. So those are the women you get to hang about with if you join the Hive. There are other offers as well. They're pinned to the top of this page. This group. You can get an Etsy shop audit. You can have a side hustle success session with me. You can buy social media post templates and happiness journal. There's loads of things. There's loads of things that I've got on offer. But to be honest, if I were you, the one I would go for is the Hive. It's £27. Like, seriously. If you're not prepared to invest £27 in your business, you're not taking it seriously. And if you don't get a return of at least £27, you haven't done the stuff. It is. I say with utmost confidence, it is what you need to move your side hustle forward. And you've got these magical women right there. It might be showing different. This is the way I see it. This is where I see your comments, but it's going to be different when you see it on Facebook. Anyway, yes, it's so worth £27. It's quite ridiculous. The price is going to be going up next year, just so you know. I'm not quite sure when, but it will be going up. But at the moment, it is up £27. So jump on that while you can. Right. Hivers, I'm just about to end and go live in our in the Hive Facebook group. So come and join me. Thank you, everybody else. So remember, if you get an Etsy review or bad Etsy review, I want you to breathe. I want you to message the customer. I want you to wait until you kind of work it out, because you can, if the customer is decent and they come back and they say, do you know what, I was just really disappointed because of this. And you say, oh, let me resolve that for you. And they go, oh, that's really kind of you. Thank you very much. At that point, you can say, would you mind changing your review? Because they can change their review, but definitely don't ask them that until you've got to the point where you're having this lovely relationship and they're apologizing to you. And then just get more sales, like have a wee discount, encourage people to buy that item. So then that review goes way, way down compared to all the other reviews. It's so much less. And then just realize that that customer is an absolute idiot. You're so welcome, Joe. And it's rotten that you have to deal with this. Yeah, it's happened to me before. It happens to us all occasionally, and it's hard not to have that horrible sinking feeling in your stomach. But it's all about them. It's not about you. And yeah, when you're prepared to resolve it, that's all. And as I say, Joe, the only way that you can not get a bad Etsy review is by not starting your side hustle, and no one regrets that. Okay, right. Come and join me, bees, over in the hive. Everybody else, have a wonderful week, and I should probably be back on Thursday. Okay, take care. Bye.